Okay, let's talk about one of the most universally dreaded moments in any phone call, being put on hold. We've all been there, and it's usually pretty frustrating, right? But what if I told you we could take that pain point and flip it into a moment that actually builds trust? Well, we can, and that's what we're going to break down today. So just think about it for a second. The last time this happened to you, you're on the phone, you're in the middle of explaining something, and bam, silence. And then that dreaded hold music kicks in. It's so abrupt, so frustrating, and it almost always starts with one very specific and, you might think, harmless phrase. And there it is. That's the one. I'll have a look into it. I'll be right back. I mean, it seems harmless enough, doesn't it? It sounds efficient, even. But this right here, this is exactly where a really great customer interaction can start to fall apart. Let's dig into why. We're going to call this whole thing the awkward hold, because that's really what it is. It's not a smooth, natural part of the conversation. Nope, it's this clunky, awkward gear shift that just completely changes the vibe of the entire call. See, here's the thing. That phrase doesn't feel like you're taking a second to help the customer. It feels like you're just cutting them off to go do something else entirely. It completely shatters that collaborative flow you had going, and all of a sudden, the customer feels less like a person you're helping and more like a task you just need to get through. So why does this one little phrase cause so much trouble? It seems so innocent. Let's get into the psychology of it, because what "I'll be back" is actually communicating to the person on the other end of the line is not great. You know, this phrase basically creates four big problems all at once. First, there's just total uncertainty. I'll be right back. What does that even mean? 30 seconds? 10 minutes? Who knows? Second, it just feels dismissive, like their problem is an annoying interruption for you. Third, and this is a big one, it yanks away the customer's sense of control. Things are now happening to them, not with them. And finally, with no clear time frame, you've just left them floating in a communication black hole. But here is the really good news. There is a simple, incredibly powerful three-part fix that completely flips this whole dynamic on its head. It's an approach that creates a way better and much more respectful interaction. And this just lays it all out perfectly. On the left, you've got the problem, and on the right, the solution. I mean, just listen to the difference in tone. I need to find out more about the issue. May I place you on hold? I want to make sure we have the right information for you. I'll only be a couple minutes. It's clear, it's respectful, it's collaborative. It is night and day. So what's the magic here? What makes this new phrase so much better? Well, it's this super simple three-step structure. First, you explain why you need to put them on hold. I need to find out more. Then, you ask for permission. May I place you on hold? This is absolutely huge. And third, you set clear expectations. I'll only be a couple of minutes. Just like that, it's clear, it's respectful, and it puts the customer right back in the driver's seat. At the end of the day, this whole thing works because it's a fundamental shift in the dynamic. You're not just telling them what's happening anymore, you're actually including them in the process. You're giving them agency and treating them with real respect, which, let's be honest, is the foundation of any great service interaction. Okay, so you've just expertly and respectfully placed your customer on hold. Fantastic. But the job isn't done yet. What you say when you come back on the line is just as important. Welcome to the art of the return. And the psychology behind this part is wonderfully simple. Instead of focusing on the negative, the fact that they had to wait, we're going to use a little positive reinforcement. This helps acknowledge their cooperation and it diffuses any frustration that might have been building up. And here it is, the magic phrase. It's not "sorry for the wait," it's "thank you for your patience." It's such a small, subtle change in wording, but believe me, it has a massive psychological impact. And this is exactly why it works so well. When you apologize, you're putting the focus on your failure to be quick. But when you thank them for their patience, you're framing them as being patient and cooperative. You're basically complimenting their good behavior, which reinforces it and makes them feel seen and appreciated, instead of just inconvenienced. So what this all boils down to is that this isn't just about memorizing a couple of lines from a script. It's really about shifting your entire mindset. It's about turning a moment that's full of potential friction into what's basically a virtual handshake, a moment of trust and professionalism. By using these simple techniques, you literally transform a hold from something you have to do into a moment that actually builds rapport. You're showing the customer that you value their time, you respect their agency, and you're working with them to find a solution. It's a tiny detail that communicates a huge amount of professionalism. And that really just leaves us with one final thought to chew on. This whole principle of mindful, respectful communication goes way beyond the hold button, right? So the real question is, what other small habits in our daily conversations could we tweak to make a really big positive impact? It's definitely something worth thinking about.